What is happening, folks? It is Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you a dark, Batman-filled, good, bad, awesome, where we unbox, give my first reaction to all things pop culture. So if you like that kind of stuff, if you like first reactions, if you like to see what I see when I see it, you see it, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and get notified when we have new videos. I try to post every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and if you've already done that, thank you so much. So what are we gonna get into? I've got a Batman battle. Now, I've got two figures here. I've got the Fondjoy, and I've got the McFarlane Batfleck. So this is a Batfleck battle, and we're gonna see which Batfleck is worth your money. They're both about similarly the same price, so we're gonna go through these, give you the pros and cons of each, and which one you should go with. So let's go do it. And so we have, why do I sound like Dumbledore from Harry Potter? Here we have the two boxes, the two challengers. To the left, you have the McFarlane Batman versus Superman Batfleck. And to the right, you have the Fondjoy Batman versus Superman Batfleck. Both of them cost about the same. This one you can pick up for about $20 to $22, depending on where you get him. This one you can pick up for about $21 to $25, wherever you get him, especially overseas. They have a deluxe version that's a little bit more, about $25 to $30. That gives you some extra stuff, which I did pick up. So there's a little box I have right there with some extra stuff, but pretty similar in price. And so we want to take a look and see which one of these is great. Now, Batfleck is not my favorite Batman. Of course, he grew on me a little bit more. I did like his role in the Flash movie, although the Flash movie was not one of my favorite movies. I did like Ben Affleck's role in that movie, and his look and everything too as well. I just don't like the whole murderverse idea, where there's Batman's a murderer, you know, or whatever. That's what it seemed like, but you know, I do like the Batmobile from this, so I hope McFarlane makes the Batmobile from Batman vs. Superman. Would be awesome. So here's the front of the boxes, and so we're first going to take a look. Let's take a look at Fondjoy's box here. And again, what I love about their box, feels very premium. It has a magnetic clasp. It has the picture right here. That's a very, very nice picture. They do have the right and the licenses to use DC, so this is not like a KO. This is an actual kind of product that they're putting out. They have other ones too. They have the Christian Bale Batman. They have Aquaman, Harley Quinn. They have several, but here is kind of everything you kind of get in the box here, and then here is the side of that box. So that's the Fondjoy, and then of course the McFarlane, you have the figure front and center here. So if you're a in-the-box collector and want something to just display your figure, this is it right here. You can kind of see everything from that. There's the side, the back just shows Henry Cavill and Batman. And again, I'm wondering if DC just does not have if McFarlane or Fondjoy just don't have the license to do Henry Cavill's face or anything like that, because this looks a little off right here too as well. But there's the side on this. So now what we want to do is get these out of the box so we can start comparing them. So let's do that with Fondjoy first. We're going to get that one out of the box onto the table, and we can start with him first. Okay, let's start with Fondjoy. And here is the figure out of the box, and I gotta say, wow, just my first impressions of the figure out of the box is just friggin' phenomenal. First of all, the unboxing experience for this was so smooth, so neat. The presentation was really, really nice. I wish I would have filmed it so that way y'all can see it, but after that, once you get the figure out and things like that, you get a lot of stuff. So let's start with what you get. So first of all, you do get his little Batarang gun here. So there we go, very nice. Look at the detail on that. That looks so good. Good paint job, feels good in the hands. You get two silver Batarangs there. You also get a face mask here. So that's just to, you know, mask his face, to put on like a gas mask or something like that. Love the little bat logo right there. And you get all these sets of hands here as well. Really, really cool. You can kind of see the detail. I mean, they did a good job at the paint job and things on this. And then the stand. You get this really, really nice stand with the Batman Superman logo up here, Batman written right there. Kerning's just a bit off right here between the A's. You can kind of see that. That's like B-A man. So that could be fixed right there, but that's just a minor nuisance from my old school kind of graphic design back in the day. But this is a beautiful stand nonetheless. And then the figure itself is just really, 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 really nice. And so let's, this is, now if you get the deluxe version, you get the additional face, and that is a very nice looking, a better representation of Ben Affleck versus the Superman one that I did of the Fonjooy, but just a very, very nice sculpt. The eyes, everything got the 5 o'clock shadow on here, so I mean, just overall a beautiful, beautiful face sculpt on that. And that's if you get the deluxe version. You don't necessarily have to pay for the deluxe version if you just want the Batman figure. You don't care about having an unmasked Batman. So there you go. But this figure feels really good in the hands. It feels really, really good. And there, let's just pull in the face here, and you can kind of just see just the shadowing here amongst this like little 5 o'clock shadow, just the look. It has that thickness of the Affleck Batman here. So, and then the dark gray and the black here, that logo just really pops. There's no overspray on any of the paint job on here. So just overall well. And this cape, it's a soft goods cape, which is really cool. But it also has wire in here, so if I want to bend it, I can, if I want to do that with it. So very, very nice figure. And so from a standing, let me get him standing here. Standing weird. He is approximately, here's my knife. I don't have my ruler with me, but here's my X-Acto blade. Here's my iPhone 14 Pro. So you can kind of see just how tall he is. And then we'll compare him to what McFarlane figures look like too as well. But before we get into articulation, let's get into the look of the McFarlane Batman. And here we have the McFarlane Batfleck here. And here's my problem, and I had this problem when I went to Universal Studios for my very first time. I rode Velocicoaster, was my very first thrill ride coaster at Universal Studios, and it was freaking crazy. I said some words I probably shouldn't have. I had to apologize to the family behind me, and then I went and rode the Hulk, and it was a good roller coaster, but it was no Velocicoaster, right? I should have rode the Hulk first, and I'd have been like, oh, that's awesome, and then ride Velocicoaster, and then it kind of ramps that excitement. And instead, I kind of ramped down. And so that's the feeling I get now when I went from the Fondjoy to the McFarlane. It's a good figure, but after I got to, looking at the other one, and here are some of my qualms, my complaints. Basically, this is like a retooled body that they typically used on all the other Batman figures. I mean, the logo looks good, the paint job looks pretty good, but the face, nothing like Batfleck. If you're looking for a resemblance, I mean, I like the look of the face, but it doesn't look anything like Batfleck on there. It just looks like they took just a regular Batman, painted it to look like the Batman versus Superman Batman. I mean, the hands, you got that there too as well. So, but what you get in the box, so let's talk about value and what you get. And the unboxing experience is a little more frustrating because you have all these tabs and these little plastic things you got to cut off, whereas the Fonjooy is seamless. And so some of y'all are like, oh, you're being fanboying over Fonjooy. I am. I'm starting to get a little bias here. Let's just put it that way. But there are the batarangs that you get. You also get his grappling gun. And so let me pull in the Fonjooy one since we've seen that one already. So there's the difference between the two grappling guns. And we can kind of see just that overall, the detail, the paint on here. This is just a piece of black plastic. Big chunky batarang, but versus a small skinnier one. And then you only get one more set of hands, which is just the fists. And then here's the stand for the McFarlane. So stand for Fonjooy, stand for McFarlane right there. And then, but what I do like with McFarlane, I always love the cards. The cards are really, really great. I love getting these cards. I think they're really fun to collect. And then we get the figure itself. And so from a height standpoint, let me go ahead and pull up my knife. It's right here. And so it's the normal, typical 7-inch McFarlane figure scale. So we'll scale well with your other McFarlane figures, but we'll bring it in closer for the looks here. And there is that face. Like I said, that face it doesn't really resemble Batfleck, Ben Affleck there. Whereas the other one, Fondjoy, has some resemblance to it. He's also skinnier. I do like the texture in the suit. This is a lighter gray suit. And then there's the boots, things like that. So, very cool. Got a little peg back here. I don't know what that's for. That's cool. But then the soft goods cape here, it's a cloth cape on that. So let me bring in Fondjoy back again. So there they are standing together. So what's interesting, 7-inch, this is not really supposed to scale well with McFarlane, but it looks like it could. It's a little bit taller. But it looks like it could scale pretty decent with a McFarlane figure. But which one do you like better? Fondjoy or McFarlane? There they are. And here, look, there's the details in the boots right there. You got the gold tip right there, whereas this is just straight up black. But the texture, everything. This one's a bit beefier. This one has the bulkiness of the Batfleck, whereas this, again, they kind of, when you mass produce figures, they kind of retool figures to kind of go with what they want it to go with. But let's get into some articulation between the two. So from an articulation standpoint, let's go ahead and put Fondjoy to the side. We'll start with McFarlane this time from articulation. So McFarlane figures have 22 points of articulation. So you got the head, you got this and this joint here with the arm, which can twist around. Then you also have the twist at the bicep. More than a 90-degree bend on that arm, and then you have this as well as the tilting into the wrist too as well. So you got some really good movement there. You have the upper ab, and then you have the lower ab crunch there. Upper ab can move, lower ab can move, and so you got that too as well. And then you have, so here, come on, Batman should be more flexible than this. So, but there you can kind of see the joints there. You can see how it goes and kicks up. That's about as far as you're going to get up without his underwear getting in the way. And then we're going to kick it back again, but underwear gets in the way. And then more than a 90-degree bend there at that. And then you have the twist on the ankle, the pop-up right there, and then this is all sorts of movements and stuff like that. So you got all sorts of, really good articulation with McFarlane on here, and just what they're known for. You got some good articulation. You can get them into some really cool poses if you want. What I hate sometimes is these feet kind of are a little ornery, and so it takes some just finagling to get him to stand unless you use the stand on that. So let's move him aside. Let's get in Fondjoy. So let's start with the head. There we go. It was just stuck a little bit. You got some really good movement on the head, and then the arm. You have these two joints here, so that gives you some really good movement there. You got the twist. You have the twist at the bicep, so you can kind of go all the way around. You have more than a 90-degree bend. You have the twist at the hands, and then you have the upper ab, and then the lower ab. You got twist, and now let's go to the feet. And so more Jean-Clauding here than on the other one. And then you can kind of see the joints here where it looks. You can kind of see how you can pull this down. That's interesting. So that way you can get the legs in some gnarly poses if you want to. More than a 90-degree. You got the tilt, kick up, and the kick back here. So some really, really good articulation. I don't know why something has just stuck out to me. Batman junk. His junk is a little... Anyway, all right. So, but articulation-wise, they're pretty straight up even on that. So it really comes down to appearance for you all and accessories. And so when I think about these, between the two, again, the appearance of this one, I think, really outshines the appearance of this one here. Just looks better. It feels better. I mean, the materials, this is a heavy, this is pretty hefty too, but this is a really, really heavy Batman there. So really, really cool. You got the lean. They're both doing the lean now. There we go, the lean. But Fondjoy, not bad for a foreign company in your figure here. So again, 22 to $22 to $26 here if you get it overseas. If you buy it on Amazon, you're going to be paying about $45 for this. So I would encourage you to get this on AliExpress or something like that and just wait for the shipping cost on that. If you have to get it from Amazon, I'll put a link down below for each of these figures. It's my affiliate link, so I do get some credit there if you do purchase with that. But I believe you get more value here than you do here, straight up. I mean, just from the presentation, the appearance, overall, I am digging it. Now, it's a toss-up, again, on the articulation here, but we'll talk about that in my final thoughts. So let's do this. Let me get some other Batman in here so we can kind of compare and scale with other Batman and see what he looks like. So much Batman, so little time. Here we got all the McFarlane Batmans I have right now, and that's, you know, I do have a few more McFarlane Batman. So this is the Two-Face Batman, the Michael Keaton that came with the Flash, not the Flash Batmobile, the Amazon exclusive Batmobile. Of course, Fonjooy, Batman vs. Superman, Nightfall Batman, Spawn Batman there, and then the 5-inch Superpowers Batman. So you can kind of see how he scales amongst that. Here's a 3.75-inch Star Wars figure right there. And let's bring in a 6-inch Star Wars figure, and we'll put that one right here for right now. So you can kind of see from a scale standpoint where they all stand. And I'm telling you right now, that Fondjoy can fit within that. Now, if you're like up to the millimeter, then yeah, he's not going to be in scale with all this stuff, but I think he fits in really, really well. So that's exciting there. That's really, really cool. So, but let's do this. Let's get back together for my final thoughts, my final grades, and which one you should spend your money on in my final thoughts. We've played with them. We've unboxed them. We've put them in different poses, and now it's time for my final thoughts on the Fondjoy versus McFarlane figures. So we'll go over several different criteria. And so let me bring in the figures here. So here again is McFarlane. One more look at McFarlane. I'm Batman. Probably the way I'm going to keep him. I kind of like that pose there. And then we're going to bring in the Fondjoy. There's that one. I like this look where he's looking for Superman to beat the crap out of him, right? That kind of looks cool there. So let's talk through a few things. So first of all, the packaging. If you're an in-the-box collector and like to see your figures, McFarlane's going to win on that one because the figure is prominently displayed. It's posed a little bit. I think if you're in the box, you're going to love that. But if you want a premium out-of-the-box experience, like when you open it and you just have some fun with it, Fondjoy is going to win that one. Frustrating to get out of the packaging? Not frustrating to get out of the packaging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that a toss-up. So it's just dependent upon what you like the best on that. And what for me, my preference, I like since I open all my figures pretty much, I'm going to go with the out-of-the-box experience. But I'm going to give that a tie to them. So the second thing, let's talk through accessories. So McFarlane, you get an extra set of hands, 2 batarangs, and then his grappling gun. And then you also get the traditional McFarlane stand and a card. That's it. This one you get 5 hands, 2 batarangs, the grappling gun, the gas mask, and so you get a lot more accessories. And then you have the option as well as to get the Ben Affleck head if you want to pay a little bit more for that. The other thing with the accessories, I'm going to consider the cape an accessory. This is just a cloth cape, which is nothing wrong with that. I love cloth goods capes. This one has the wire in it, so you can really pose it. So when it comes down to accessories and accessorizing, Fondjoy is going to win that one. Sorry, McFarlane, but Fondjoy's got that one. And then let's talk about appearance. And so this is if you like chunky Affleck versus just a regular Batman. So I love the colors, the dark gray, and I like the bulky look of this figure. I love the more Frank Miller-esque Batman cowl right there. And so this really gives me that Frank Miller vibe and that feel with the Batman logo and that cowl, and that's really, really cool. This is like a retooled Batman mold that they retooled to put Affleck in it. Does it have, which one has better resemblance? This one. So from an appearance standpoint, I'm going to give it to Fondjoy on that. So Fonjooy is going to have better appearance than the McFarlane. Posability. 22 points of articulation. I believe this has about the same, so it's going to be a tie on that. So it's going to be a tie around the posability of the figures on that. So so what we got here is we got a tie in the unboxing. We got Fonjooy with the appearance, Fonjooy with the accessories, and then a tie with the articulation. Now, ease of putting into articulated moods, this one's a lot easier versus this one here. Scale wise, this is going to scale better with your McFarlane figures. So who wins it for me? Let's talk cost now. Cost of the figure. So for what you get, between $20 to $23, just depending on where you buy this guy, that's how much this is. This one's going to start at about $21 to $22 and can be upwards of $50 depending on where you buy it. You buy it overseas, you're probably going to pay no more than $25, just depending on the retailer you get. You buy it here in the States, you're going to be paying $40, $50 for this guy. So, but for everything that you get, I think this has the most bang for your buck here on that Fondjoy. So which one do I prefer? I mean, on a scale of good, bad, awesome, they are both awesome figures. This is a pretty awesome, but this one is going to edge it out. I think this is freaking awesome. So my preference, I'm sorry, McFarlane, but Fondjoy does it for me on this one. This is much better than the Superman figure, and I really, really dig it. Now, he does have a bit of a longer crotch area than this one, so I don't know if, anyway. But from everything, I just can't say enough about these Fondjoy figures. They're doing a really, really, really great job, and I can't wait to see what they do with some of the other figures. Now, I got an Iron Man figure coming, so I can't wait to see that one. But between the two, I'm going to go with this one. But you know what? You go with the one that makes you happy, the one that you like the best, and things like that. So nothing against McFarlane. McFarlane makes some good figures, but Fondjoy is catching up from that premium unboxing, to the appearance, to the accessories, to that stand. I mean, with that stand, that freaking stand is so freaking cool. So Fondjoy, you win this one. You win this battle. You win the battle of the Batflecks. I'm the best. No, I'm the best. 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 So that's it. That's all I got to say about that. So hopefully this helped you out. This helped you make your mind up, and hopefully you'll get the one you want. If you want to buy it in the States, I'll put a link to my Amazon affiliate link to getting either of these figures, so that way you can kind of buy that. It's going to be in my description. But other than that, man, tune in next time when we talk about something else, good, bad, or awesome. But in the meantime, y'all remember to stay young, have fun, and be Batman. No, be awesome. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.